I guess it's time to choose violence again in sneakers. Because I'm sure someone will feel some kind of way about this video today, and you know what? That sounds personal, but I think it's long overdue for us to really self-assess our attachment to buying sneakers. Not sneaker culture in itself, not appreciating them for what they are, but no, just like buying sneakers. You've caught my recent videos. They're along the same lines as this video today, as I've slowed down on my sneaker pickups in 2024, and that will continue moving forward. How I see all of this is certainly different right now. I've decided to speak more on just the observations I have on the narratives and how people feel we are within maybe current state of sneakers, because there's so much that's out there. I've done quite a few videos, whether it's don't sleep, must-haves, in my recent one, that 4 to 5 sneakers a month, buying 4 to 5 sneakers a month, it's not normal. Also, sneakerheads being upset that some coveted retros are making a return. I don't quite agree with it. I see both sides, but I don't quite agree with it. But this one today, yeah, I've heard this phrase thrown around so much in 2024. Sneakers are dry. And I'm sure you've heard one of 3 of these phrases, right? You've either heard, this is such a dry week in sneakers. This month is just really dry for sneakers. In all of 2024, it's just dry. It just is what it is. But 2025, that's our year. Nothing but heat. I think those 3 translate into one of 2 things. Stick with me here. Sneakers right now are dry. Translation: there's nothing dropping this week that everybody and their mom said is a must-have, is a don't sleep, is a must-cop-in. I'm not really sure what to do with myself without that. Another translation, and this is probably specifically towards creators versus just everyday consumers. If sneakers are dry this week, I'm struggling on what to post for content that is low effort but really high engagement, because that's how you really grow in this game. What this all really sounds like? It sounds like you're saying you need your fix. Plain as day. It sounds like you're saying, I need my fix and I need it right now. Because at this point, the sneaker you bought like 10 sneakers ago, I don't think it's doing as much for you anymore. The dopamine, the excitement, the got 'em screen just isn't hitting the same. And maybe it's because everyone and their mom is able to see a got 'em screen, so that takes away that feeling, that rush. So the 10th pair ago didn't do it, neither did the 9th, or the 8th, or the 7th. Law of diminishing returns. Because I'm a little confused. Within the last 2 to 3 months, did you not just buy like 4 sneaker of the year candidates? Like, was that not enough? And I know some people will stand behind that it will never be enough. They will endlessly buy sneakers until their dying day. They will continue to buy 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 pairs a month. Whatever they say that they got it and they can take care of it, great, fine. And I hope that if you're doing that, you are truly in a financial position to continue those buying habits. Although I find it interesting that probably individuals that really are in a position to do that, and I'm talking about your $300,000 and $400,000 gross earners a year, they're probably not even doing that. Not necessarily. Also, for like the last 10 pairs that you picked up, have they really seen the light of day? Like, past the IG post and the in-hand pic and maybe a post on Twitter? Like, have they actually touched pavement? And I can say that as someone that isn't just new to this. I've been into sneakers for so long, and I'll continue to love them. I got into this based on my love of sport and athletes. That's how so many of us were drawn to sneakers in themselves. So that will never end. But as someone who was certainly buying 3 pairs, maybe 4 pairs, and again, I am blessed for the relationships that I may have with brands or individuals in which I may have sneakers come in that I didn't necessarily purchase myself. So that was also a balance of the shoes that I was chasing. And then maybe I'm on a project and I receive shoes in. That amplified the amount coming in, but how much are those really being worn? How much? That's not even a knock towards you as a person. It just becomes really difficult to get through all the pairs that you have at a certain point. I mean, if you follow me on Instagram at talkstywith.tj, then you know that I've posted pairs you would probably never think that I would be okay with getting rid of. They're amazing sneakers, right? The Jordan 5 Fire Red with the silver tongue, that's posted to be sold. The Air Jordan 6 Black Infrared, amazing pair. It just used to sit up there. I didn't even think to wear it for well over a year. So I've let this kind of marinate that it's okay for me to let those shoes go. Detaching from these things, because that's just what they are, I think it can do you a lot of good. And a lot of you have commented that in recent videos, and I appreciate you doing that. Not that I need the validation on getting rid of stuff, but you may not understand just how much more that may help somebody else who is trying to break away from feeling the need to buy so many pairs, like my video said. Recent videos, I've really made the distinction between how creators may view sneakers, how they may approach buying sneakers, and there is a method to that madness and behind that logic, versus a regular casual consumer. And that, yes, you love sneakers just as much as that creator, and the creator is also a consumer, but there is additional motive and there's additional reasoning behind why they may do the things that they do, versus you just being a regular consumer. You buy pairs and you enjoy them, but there's not intention behind the content you create, and there's not a motive there, and you're not looking to actually generate engagement for the sense of it being a career, right? So when I speak on creators right now, it's in relation to full-time. I myself am not a full-time creator. I am certainly going to adjust things in the near future, so this feels like a real hobby, which is what it should be for myself in creating, and not like the part-time career that I've kind of made it to be, because it's a lot. But why is it a scary time? Why is there anxiety behind the idea of sneakers being dry for creatives? Listen, views drive all. Views are everything. So in wanting those views, there is a blueprint that just makes sense. If a shoe is highly searched, not just by sneakerheads, which is a really small niche in the whole grand scheme of footwear, I know we don't like to think of that reality, but it's true, okay? It's true. We're a small niche in the grand scope of footwear in itself. If casuals and people that really aren't into it as deep as we are, if they are also searching for a specific pair, a model, a colorway, that automatically drops your video into the search engine. So search engine optimization is your friend. It works in your favor. The algorithm loves you, and your video will receive farther reach than what it just typically would. That means more views, which means more ads, which means more money. And you know what? At the end of the day, everyone needs to take care of themselves. We may have corporate careers, 9-to-5s, and for creatives, whether they're influencers or just they think of themselves as just creators, they too need to provide for themselves. Everybody needs to eat. So I fully understand the method behind what it is that they do, and I get it, because I would never want someone to not be able to take care of themselves. I just wouldn't. So when sneakers are dry, understand they're saying that because there's a lot on the line for them. This may be the perspective that a lot of people don't like, and that's okay. If sneakers are dry for you, or at least that's what you perceive because you hear it all around, so you start to adopt that same thought as well, I think it's scary because you unintentionally have now made your whole identity sneakers. Like all of it. Like the self-esteem and how you feel, especially with your online presence, it may be so embedded in you having the latest drop, the latest collab, the hottest pair out. It was exclusive. It was held to be able to get these. And again, it was likely unintentional, but that's your whole personality at this point. It's just who you feel that you are. Certainly online. Maybe not in real life, but it could also be in real life. So if it's dry, if it's a dry period for sneakers coming out, which really just means that there isn't a shoe that is kind of dominating the social media like posts and timelines. That's all that means. There isn't something that's garnering so much attention that it also has resale value. That's all it means when it's dry, okay? Hundreds of sneakers drop all the time, every single month. Don't ever be fooled to think that sneakers are not dropping when somebody says that it's dry. But this also takes me back to when a lot of you said people may feel some kind of way if you pass on a sneaker and they don't, because it feels as if you are then invalidating their pickup. And that was like news to me because I never even thought about that being a thing, because I would pass on a shoe, somebody else would feel some kind of way about it. And maybe it's because they're feeling like I'm saying they too, or maybe they made a bad decision by buying the shoe. Not what that is at all. But if you feel as if sneakers are dry and there's not something new for you to get, how on earth do you then rectify that with your identity? Like, do you feel like you've lost a part of yourself? I just feel like that has to play a factor somehow. Because everyday casuals should not be worried or concerned or have anxiety over there not being a hyped pair for you to buy that specific week. Did you not just buy one a week ago or 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago? And I know it's a running joke and it can be funny, but there are people that are posting things that like they go through withdrawals of not buying sneakers. Let's be real. Some of you have cut your collections down, or you maybe only own 20 to 50 pairs, and I have so much respect for you in that. I really do. I promise there's like 50 pairs just within, I think, like the wall behind me. And a lot of people that claim they go through withdrawals and not buying a hype sneaker, not buying a sneaker, right? And if they're not buying it, it just means it can be that something didn't catch their eye, or again, it's dry because everyone and their mom doesn't give a shit about a sneaker coming out that specific week. You have probably hundreds of pairs. What is the withdrawal and why do you think that that's healthy? Listen, I don't know if there's comfort in buying a pair every single week. I don't know. A lot of people get excitement from an Amazon package being delivered every week. These are the times we're in. We want instant gratification. We don't want to wait for anything. We want what we want, but what we want doesn't even really fulfill whatever you think it's going to fulfill. It can't be, because if it did, you wouldn't be chasing the very next thing a week later. So, also, life is a lot right now for so many people, right? So I don't ever want you to think because you're not chasing 4 to 5 pairs a month that there is something wrong with you, or even that you probably perceive, well, these people must have it like that because they're chasing 4 and 5 pairs. Listen, even if you financially do have it like that, and that's perfectly fine, that's still not something you need to think you need to live up to. There are some where life is just beating their ass right now, just straight up. It just is. Mentally, financially, personally, it's just not a good time for a lot of people. And for them to only look around and maybe just think that sneakers is that one little bright spot, as much as I would love for that to be a bright spot, I also don't want that to be the whole epitome of great for your week. Like, I would want more. I would want there to be something else that is fulfilling beyond just a shoe arriving. Because I'm sure a shoe arrived 2 weeks ago and 3 weeks ago and 4 weeks ago. I just want life to be a little bit more than just that shoe arriving. Shoes are great. They are. But it's not the end all be all for life. It's not. So I hear the phrase all the time, sneakers are dry right now. It's another thing I hope we leave in 2024. Who knows? But please be sure to go ahead and comment your thoughts. Definitely more just commentary on my perspective on sneakers and the different things that I see, and likely you see too. So I appreciate you tuning in. Hopefully you've caught my recent video, certainly my video on the Adidas AE1 Low and the Ascent Pack. Team USA, they are off and running in the Olympics. You guys see, I have my Olympic hoodie on, excited to root for all of red, white, and blue. Doesn't matter the sport. This is the time in which we kind of, root for this country, even though it is just very complicated and gives us a lot of headaches. But with all that being said, act your age, not your shoe size. Peace.